Good morning, Muscatine. You can tell the B team host got pulled up to varsity today. Autumn is at duty, and Chris on the box. So if I get like sidetracked and it looks kind of goofy, I'm supposed to be on the other side of the camera. But as always, we want to thank our sponsors who let us do this every day and bring you the best of what's going on in Muscatine. And this weekend, we have a ton of stuff. It all seems to center around guy who's here with me today. So if you have a weekend, he gets the credit. We'll say that. With us today, I've got Mike Henson, the director from MHS, who is halfway through his first year.
Yep.
And has had a lot of fun. He's probably had more experiences with me than most people would enjoy, but you know, he takes it in stride. Notice he doesn't say anything. He just smiled and grinned. And
I'm just listening.
He's
it's been enjoyable. It's been a good time.
Yeah, he says that on camera. No. So we have a whole bunch of stuff to talk about, Mike. Like, first of all, I do want to say you have done a tremendous job. Quality of the events has taken another step up. You know, like half times, stuff like that. I love seeing it. You've done a great job.
Thank you. No, I appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun, and the kids have been great. Fans have been great. Really good to work with here. Try and give entertainment a little bit of downtime. So
yeah, I just need to figure out what. So guys, don't watch the basketball games. You need to, because halftime. Okay, we've got the normal stuff. Palm does a great job. They've been here like 3 times in the last week or two doing their stuff. But when there isn't like a big thing going on like senior night or something like that, you've got like, I think there's like the world's largest knockout game. There was a whole bunch of kids spinning, and I didn't even follow it because I was talking, but what all have you been doing?
Here at Toyota,
I always steal stuff from somebody else or something else I've seen.
So do we.
So you do.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah, so you do. Like last home game was Disney Challenge. You get a couple of teams and they around in the bat and then try and point and make a layup. And,
that's right.
So you first team to
two going the opposite way.
Yeah, you complete the task on there. We've had free throw challenges with kids. We've had the timing where you've got to make a layup, free throw, 3-pointer, and half court shot.
Yep, I remember that one.
30 seconds. So you just keep trying to come up with. We were going to set up. We just couldn't get to an obstacle course that they got to complete. So again, we've tried to include the other team from time to time. Their student sections as well. Just again, different ways to give a little entertainment, have kids have some fun.
Well, and
on the downtime.
I will say the student section has leveled up a little bit this year. It seems like. I don't remember which game it was, but there must have been some sort of like construction, contracting, I don't know, but somebody had a life-size stop sign.
I began to worry where they got that from.
Just don't ask.
Yeah.
Just don't ask.
We've got 4 student section leaders in Aubrey Haney and McKenna Koff and Anderson and Sam Emmert that they organize a lot of those events. And,
really?
And so, yeah, that's all them. They come there. I mean, we had kind of a purple night last time, recognition of one of our that had passed a little earlier this year, and so that was, and camouflage night, and they've done beach night, and so they do a good job of keeping them engaged.
They have, and what I love, I often refer back to, because a lot of our viewers are my school here, and we didn't have any sort of organization like that. we were all engaged. We were lucky in our grade, just inside Wasink. I'm sure you've probably heard horror stories of the gorilla mascot roamed for a while. That was our class that started that. That was Justin. Watching these kids, student sections full, and there was obviously COVID. It took a while for everything to come back, and there for a while it was empty in there, of course. But it's so great to see the kids so engaged, and it's on both sides, the boys, the girls. When wrestling's here, even volleyball had a nice section also. So that shows that you guys are able to keep these kids engaged, which is awesome. It's what we need. So real quick, for those of them out there that don't know you, how did you end up here in Muscatine?
Good question.
Sorry, totally sprung you on that
real
one.
Quick, no, real quick. Real quick. I'm actually a DeWitt grad, high school grad, so don't in another purple and gold team. And my educational career, I was actually for a long time a coach at Bettendorf. I taught at Davenport West, then got first in admin or semi-admin job as an athletic director in Osage, Iowa. So family north of Austin City. Right. Then this last summer I had the opportunity, fortunate enough to have the opportunity to come back to Eastern Iowa. I think my wife has enjoyed the transition as her brother's here in town.
Right.
Close to family was kind of a goal of ours.
Well, I would think moving south, everybody always wants to move south, right? The weather's warmer and...
Yeah,
right.
Well, it's amazing. it does make a 5 to 10 degree difference. And that's funny, out here now we're starting to get it, but I know up north they're getting, I still watch the weather forecast, so they're getting 6 to 10 inches today of snow. I'm saying
I'm out.
Always a little better off.
I'm out. Yep. So let's get to this weekend, because you've got, it's going to take us an hour just to cover that. So Friday night at home we host, girls side, we host Davenport West. Right. That'll be senior our girls. Boys obviously go to Davenport West. And then you want to keep rolling through the weekend. Just keep rolling, because it's...
Today's a big day. Our swim team will be swimming at state. Actually, they swim back up Friday night. They swim in Iowa City. We have 2 kids that have qualified there. I'm going to butcher the names again, but I know Dakota and Colin are 2 swimmers, so that made it in 2 individual events. So they Friday night 5 o'clock and Saturday at 12:30 they swim in Iowa City at the college pool there. Saturday we go, our wrestlers go to North Scott. That's district qualifier for state. North Scott is hosting there. And then one at home, we have our boys host Fort Madison in a non-conference event, but that's also going to be our Hall of Fame induction. And we've got a nice agenda for them. We're going to have a little reception. Anybody wants to come out at 3 o'clock. We're in our Commons, going to induct 12 members into our Hall of Fame and come out and visit with them. Then at halftime of the varsity game, we're going to have recognition of those individuals. And then we will conclude the evening moving to after the game's over, we're going to move to the auditorium. So around 5 o'clock, we will move to the auditorium and do a formal presentation to each member of the Hall of Fame and give them an opportunity to speak and do their thank yous, etc., acceptance speeches.
Well, and that's, when you first about this, I don't remember when, a handful of weeks ago or whatever. The Hall of Fame inductions have, I don't think they even actually did any, or they did, but they weren't able to do a ceremony. I don't remember how that went.
I kind of went back. I think one year they didn't do it, and the other one very limited because of restrictions.
Right. But what I love about this is it's another way to connect back with the community, and I love the addition of letting them say something, because there's so many of them, and I'll have him read the list for you here in just a second, but because it's long this year, as well it should be. There's so many who give so much back all the time, or they made a change in a program that people today may not remember always, but it's great to give that connection and then also give them the mic for a minute and say why this stuff was important to them and, what them to be a part of the MHS community. So, what do we have this year? I mean, it's
and the committee's been great. I always enjoy this. I started a Hall of Fame committee up in Osage before I left, and for a lot of reasons, but it's been great because it always helps actually me coming into my role to learn about the history. Mm-hmm. I mean, our history in Muscatine has been a great one. And it's important that the more I can understand.
We had our moments. Yeah. Let's say that.
So I mean, it's a great committee. Our Hall committee, and I'm going to probably miss somebody, but is Roger Bates and Bob Leach, Chuck Van Heck, Denny Schur, and Hilton are the main. And then our coaches are all. I invited our coaches to listen in, and those that have been around longer to have a say in what was going on. So, and they came. Our list has got over 50 people on it. So, part of the year was maybe catching up a little bit from the non-COVID year. So it's a little bigger than maybe normal.
Yeah, that's all right.
But we do have 12 members we're putting to the Hall of Fame this year. Really quickly through that list: Haley Franklin for volleyball, Brian was a golfer, Juan Espinal, soccer. Boys soccer team, Max Dittmer as a swimmer on there, I believe. Josh Anderson for bowling. Liz Lawhorn was for softball. Marcus Holler for football. Derek Burkhamper from baseball. Laurie Dew.
It doesn't ring a bell.
He was basketball.
Oh, yeah.
Am I saying that wrong?
Don't worry about it. Just go.
And then we invite those 9 athletes, and then we are inducting coaches. And that would be Coach Tank, John Each, and Randy Ward.
And, for the people of my generation, those 3 coaches, that was life. It was those guys. I'll never forget this. One of the coolest things ever was we built our house in 2003, I think it was, and we ended up living right across from John Each. And it was just a surreal thing because, for so long, I grew up with sons, and to have him across the street, it was just so great because, the conversations you end up with in the street with John Each, he's a football guy through and through, right? And you'd have these conversations that I've learned so much just standing across the street with him. So those will be great. So Saturday, 3:00. The Commons is, for those of you that don't know, who haven't been back there for a while, the Commons is on the front side of the school. It's the big area.
It's right next to the new science, the new Carver science wing that we have.
So easiest to either park out front if it's there, or park up like on Bonnie down the front of the school and pop in right there. But so now we've also got, so that's the weekend, and then we get like a day break, and then
we'll take the day off for Super Bowl.
Super Bowl,
somebody may want to watch that game.
Maybe.
Who knows?
But it's not on Discover Muscatine Network, so is it a thing anyway?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's low key.
Low key, yeah. Okay. So then we roll right into postseason, pretty much. The boys
have senior night Tuesday. Actually, Monday our girls bowling team goes up to Iowa City for their state qualifier, and then Tuesday our boys bowling team goes to Cedar Rapids for their state qualifier, and then Tuesday night we have senior night for the boys. We host Davenport Central, and so we will have a night for the boys there as well, and then then the boys go play PV. Well, Wednesday. Sorry, I'm getting long here, but Wednesday the girls pairings just came out for girls basketball postseason, and we travel to Iowa City City High to play them, and then the winner of that goes to Davenport North. Boys finish up the regular basketball season at Pleasant Valley on Thursday, and then their postseason pairings come out. They're supposed to come out Monday. Then we'll be able to, and then that week there, the 15th through that Saturday, what would that be? The 18th,
I don't know.
Whatever that date is, would be state wrestling. Yep. So we will know after Saturday how many state qualifiers we have, and so kind of slow. I mean, it's
no big deal.
We just got a few things.
Only 75 hours a week, right?
But it's exciting though, and it's fun. It is really fun to do.
And I will say this, for those who don't understand how all the activities work, there's one center cog for all of it, and it's our AD. And we've had great ones. I mean, and it has a unique ability to pull a community together, and it's critical that it's the right person. And I think we've got one. So,
well, thank you. And I know we've had great ones, and that's always heavy shoes to fill. I know Chuck's.
No pressure. You're just gonna have to get a building named after you.
I mean, when you go out and you have a building named after athletic director,
who wants the halls?
He's been great though too. I mean, he asks. I mean, when we're at event, he asks questions. He's always available for something. So.
Well, he's been a huge help to me, like helping cover stuff, and just like sometimes when I don't understand when the school does something, I'm like, Chuck, well, I don't get it, and he's some piece of information I didn't know, and I'm like, oh, that totally makes sense, Or
his passions is still there.
It is,
and so clearly he's one that helped create this Hall of Fame, and that we're celebrating this weekend. So he's still a great and active member of the Muskie community.
Funniest story though. So my son next level 5th grade basketball, so they practice at the Van Heck Center sometimes. And there's this plaque, and it'll kill me when he hears this, but I've told him this, so it's not a big deal. There's a plaque describing Chuck on the building. And now, of course, Wyatt knows Chuck, right? And but one of the first times he went in, he looks at us, I didn't know he died.
Isn't there an old line about the news of my death is great?
Exactly. So we'll start figuring out where the next goes, because we're going to need a couple. So
he's I'll give you a cliffhanger on that one. Is that Chuck's got another award coming to him, and so I just was informed of it last week. So
nice.
I'm going to disclose at this point, but there's still another one coming.
Nice. Well, folks, you've got a busy weekend if you enjoy anything Muscatine. So stop out Friday, Saturday. If you can't be there, watch it. We'll be there streaming. You'll get to hear my lovely voice with Toby Lehman. But seriously, support these kids. They all do a great job. And I'll tell you this, watching these kids this season, they progress week over week, and there isn't a game that they don't leave it all out on the court. Both boys and girls.
And not to interrupt, absolutely. And I should make a nice put. Our coaching staff. That's one of the things I've been impressed with is that our kids work hard, and
they do.
And it's part of it. And there's a lot of things that go into that. First, just their makeup and their family upbringing and so forth, as to the work ethic that they put in, but it also is a reflection of our coaching staff. So Coach Westerkamp on the girls' side and her assistants, and Coach Torelli on the boys' basketball side, Coach Mock, and then I'd probably be in trouble if I don't mention Coach Stolfus and Tricia, Mindy Stolfus, who is our girls' bowling coach. And Tricia, who's our, and I'm going to get Tricia's last name wrong, so I'm going to defer from that as our boys bowling coach. Actually, she was named Conference Coach of the Year.
Correct.
This year, so we just got a great group that they're passionate about what they do, and I've been very impressed with how they've gone about things.
They have, and that's something that we've we've all talked about in this community for a long time is those varsity coaches make such a difference in the programs. You know, I've seen Torelli popping in at the young kids' practices, and you know, when the 5th grade boys, and I know I talk about this a lot because it's easy, it's there, it's what I'm living right now, but you know, when all these 5th grade boys want to be at a Friday night basketball game, whether it's boys or girls, yeah, they can be a little bit of a pain in the butt because they do tend to run around and do crazy stuff once in a while.
Well, but everyone's
they're there. They want to be a part of it. And, you know, we talk about it after the game. Like, you know, the Muskies had a rough game the last time we broadcast. And, you know, it wasn't as close as maybe a lot of us would have liked. But the kids never gave up. They were going, I mean, Wieskamp, in the last, like, minute or something, he was still doing a double reverse layup under the basket to score points. They were all still going at it. And these kids see that. They see what it is to be a Muskie, what it is to work hard, and yeah, you know what? You might not win them all, but you're not going to leave anything on the court. So I think that all comes from the top down. So keep up the good work. It's been fun so far. We got a little bit left. Then we roll into spring, and then it's baseball, softball, and away we go. And then it all starts over again.
I was going to say we've got about a month. We'll have 30 days or left. Actually, a week from Monday, our track teams can start practicing. So we've got all of our spring sports. We've got 65 boys out for boys soccer, as an example. So that's
a lot.
That coaching staff, another one, done a great job. Generating a lot of interest.
Both sides in soccer.
Oh, absolutely. I just know that number because it came across my desk yesterday, so it's fresh in my mind.
Okay, and we have to do this real quick because otherwise I'm going to get in trouble. Okay, so softball and baseball, of course, we're just going to hit them real quick. You know, Hopkins and the girls had a great season last season. Retooling, going at it again. They're going to do well. They're kind of automatic.
They only graduated one starter, two starters in their entire lineup, and they bring back a nucleus that they were state third place. They lost to the state champs in the semifinals, so that was a great way for me to start my
that's
my
right, because you went rolled
that was
in
my
right
first,
as that because you finished your season up there and then rolled down here 24 hours later or something, didn't you?
Yeah, I was the baseball coach, head baseball coach up there. So we lost our sub-state final. I came down here. The girls had just won their sub-state final. And so we were organizing their trip to state. And then on the boys' side, we got Coach Zamzande back here. If you don't know him, he's got some Muscatine ties, etc. So I know the boys are excited.